like a badass, like Lee Murray from, the United Kingdom. You guys, Australia has Ian Schaffa. Is his like reputation like deserved in regards to like what we hear about him?
So I fought Ian, and he was like one of the most respectful guys, like leading into the fight. And I fought him down at like 72 kilos. So this is one of the few fights I got at that lighter weight when I got skinny, right? So respect for him taking that fight, knowing it was going to be a tough one. So we fought, we chatted after. He ended up like interviewing me when I got into the UFC in Sydney. He came up with like another like pretty girl, and they both had this is what we're doing, and it's a blah, 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 raising awareness for this and that. It was kind of like, had like a charitable vibe to it.
That's cool.
And running a website, right? So good stuff. But like, if I go like 6 years before, 5 years before all that, like when I was first in Australia, I saw the guy get into a street fight after a fight show. And we're walking around with like another promoter. Like if I'm around another promoter, like Miguel, you would have saw me at the M1 when I fought for you. Like I'm going to try to be on my best behavior and show him a good guy that I have another opportunity. I want to come back. This guy gets in a bloody street fight with some karate guy, it looked like, because the guy took a pose and like threw some high kicks and was talking about "you don't know who I am," which made Ian laugh, as you do. The guy had a million fights himself. I literally sat down with someone else that was out with us, and me and him like split like some candy bars, and we sat on a sidewalk like it was a movie theater and just watched this surreal street fight happen. Like Ian punched one guy in a suit and knocked him cold, and then had this like protracted, I'm telling you, no less than 12, 15 minutes standoff.
Wow.
Where it was like they would fight a little bit and then they'd get back and talk and like show, like the one guy like
kind of peacock a little bit.
I'm talking 7 minutes in, this drunk karate guy literally went up to a street sign and like kicked a street sign that was head height. And he goes, "You know what I'll do to you?" And I'm like, "Well, we've been watching for 7 minutes and you've only hit him so far."
Haven't done it yet.
You haven't done it quite yet, and they just went at it, and it was the weirdest thing when they finally just walked away. But I'm like, I am not getting in the middle of this. Like, I'm not.
Why?
Not my job.
Yell every few seconds, yell "World Star" and let it go viral.
It wasn't a thing back then where I would have, but I was being silly and obnoxious. I was like half cornering the other guy. But can you imagine? I'm sitting on a sidewalk in the middle of a big city at like 1 a.m. I literally just, when I got those candy bars, I was getting like one of those 1-800 phone cards where you scratch off the code so I can call back to the U.S. and talk to my parents. Because I just fought. You know what I mean? Like I just fought like a couple hours before, so I wanted to tell them, how everything went. It was the weirdest thing. The weirdest. And then similar story, I went to Melbourne on one of those and I coached a kid and I did the same thing. I'm on my iPhone 3, scratch off card, calling mom. I'm literally talking to my mom and I got king hit. I got punched by some random guy that came off of like the side of a building and hit me. And then they stood there for like 20 minutes. So finally a cop car came down and I flagged him and I go, "I'm okay, but that guy hit me like 10, 15 minutes ago for like no reason." The cops went up and talked to him and they were so drunk. It was so weird. Like the people that were with him were trying to be my friend after, and like they took him to the drunk tank and, "Do you want to press charges?" I said, "No, just scare him in the morning." You know what I mean? But yeah, so weird.
Partying in Australia is different than partying in the States.
Some loose cannons over here, I tell you.